Hello everyone, welcome to Abhyarthi IAS, Day 8 of Target UPSC Prelims MCQs 2024. Let us begin. With reference to human papilloma virus HPV, consider the following statements. Sarawak is India's first indigenously produced HPV vaccine by National Institute of Virology. India has introduced the HPV vaccine into the Universal Immunization Program targeting adolescent girls and boys in the age group of 9 to 14. Which of the statements given above are correct? So the answer would be D, that statement number 1 and 2 both are not correct. In the interim budget of 2024, there were talks regarding the advancement of human papilloma vaccines for girls, which would mark a new era in women health in India. So statement 1 is not correct क्योंकि Sarawak जो vaccine है, it is the first Indian made human papilloma vaccine and it is made by Serum Institute of India. But in the question we were given that it is produced by National Institute of Virology. It would be incorrect. And statement number 2 is also not correct because Sarawak vaccine जो है वो अभी इंट्रोड्यूस नहीं की गई है इम्यूनाइजेशन प्रोग्राम में. In the interim budget of 2024, the government introduced and encouraged the use of human papilloma vaccine for girls aged between 9 to 14. Basically, Sarawak vaccine is approved for girls and boys of the age between 9 and 26. It is relatively priced lower than the international counterparts. This vaccine has shown higher efficacy in preventing human papilloma virus infection, precancerous lesions, and cervical cancers, particularly against the human papilloma virus type 16 and 18. So right now government is targeting mainly the girls between the age of 9 to 14, but it should be noted that India can also expand vaccination programs and also include adolescent boys to maximize the impact of human papilloma vaccination against the human papilloma virus transmission. Additionally, Bhutan was the first low middle income country which introduced nationwide HPV vaccination program for girls of the age 12 to 18 years. And 6 out of 11 Southeast Asian countries have introduced HPV vaccinations, one of which is Bhutan and other are Indonesia, Maldives, Myanmar, Sri Lanka and Thailand. So it has also to be noted that Bhutan is also one of the only low middle income countries to have begun vaccinating boys as well. Within India, states like Punjab, Sikkim, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, and Chhattisgarh and Maharashtra, they have announced free HPV vaccinations program for school girls in specific districts. There is some more related information which we have to cover. What happens is UPSC जितनी भी हमारी important news होती है उसके related जो भी terminologies होंगी या उसके related जितने भी concepts होंगे उसके around question पूछता ही. So in the additional information we will cover cervical cancer, which is it develops in women's cervix. It is the second most common cancer among the women in India. It is caused by persistent infection by human papilloma virus, which is HPV. It has to be noted that India accounts for nearly a quarter of all cervical cancer deaths in the world. Moreover, UPSC can also ask the 90, 70, 90 targets ये क्या है? So they are the targets outlined by WHO and they have to be achieved by 2030. इसमें क्या है कि 90% of girls they have to be fully vaccinated with HPV vaccine by the age of 15 and for 70% of women to undergo cervical cancer screening test by the age of 35 and 45 and for 90% of women with cervical cancer they have to be treated. So the most well-known HPV vaccination is Gardasil 9. It offers protection against 9 types of HPV viruses which are responsible for majority of HPV cancers. And Gardasil 9 it is approved for both males and females aged between 9 to 45 years. So at present this vaccination is very pricey and it costs around 10,000 per dose in India, but the Sarawak introduced by the Serum Institute of India, it is very economical. It will cost around 2000 per dose. That's why it is so much in news. In term track, we are providing you with some terms which are related to the topic which you have to study on your own. So the terms are immunobridging and immunogenicity. So you have to search for these terms and get to know about them because they are related to the topic which we are covering. Next question. With reference to Global Partnership on Artificial Intelligence, GPAI, consider the following statements. It was launched by the Prime Minister of India at the recent G20 summit in New Delhi. As lead chair, India hosted the annual GPAI Summit 2023 to discuss matters related to artificial intelligence. Senegal is included as a new member to the GPI grouping during the annual GPAI Summit 2023. So, which of the statements given above are not correct? So, the answer would be B, that is 1 and 3 are not correct, and only statement number 2 is correct. Global Partnership on Artificial Intelligence, it is an alliance of 29 members and it unanimously adopted the New Delhi Declaration during the 2023 annual summit. Statement 1 is not correct because Global Partnership on AI, it is a multi-stakeholder initiative which aims to bridge the gap between theory and practice on artificial intelligence, and it supports cutting-edge research and applied activities on the AI-related priorities. In the question, we were given that it was launched during the G20 summit, which was held in New Delhi, which would be incorrect because it was launched in June 2020, originally with 15 members. And the idea of this global partnership on AIs, it was developed within the G7 nations. At present, GPAI has 29 members. इनमें से most important members हैं Australia, Brazil, Canada, France, Germany, India, Israel, Italy एंड अदर जो मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट मेंबर्स हैं वो आप एक बार यहाँ पे पॉज करके वीडियो को आराम से यहाँ पे पढ़ लें ताकि आपको अगर क्वेश्चन में पूछा जाए यूपीएससी के द्वारा 29 मेंबर्स में से कौन से मेंबर नहीं हैं या कौन से मेंबर हैं सो यू कैन इजीली एलिमिनेट एंड सेलेक्ट व्हाट इज द राइट आंसर. So statement number 2 is correct, but statement number 3 is not correct because India is one of the founding members of GPAI and it have joined the multi-stakeholder initiative on June 15, 2020. As a lead chair, India has hosted the annual GPAI Summit, which was a 3-day event from 12 to 14 December 2023, where all the 29 GPAI members discussed matters related to artificial intelligence. So it has to be noted that in this summit, delegation of 28 members and European Union, including 5 ministerial delegations, participated. Some more information about GPAI is that it has a council and a steering committee, which is supported by a secretariat, and the secretariat is hosted by OECD, and it has 2 centers of expertise. One is located in Montreal, Canada, and the other one is located in Paris. At present, GPAI के 4 working groups and these are based on the theme of responsible AI, data governance, future of work, and innovation and commercialization. Some other additional information is that the Bletchley Declaration was recently in news. It is also related to the artificial intelligence. The Bletchley Declaration was signed at the United Kingdom AI Safety Summit. And Bletchley Declaration का main focus क्या था कि जो भी security and safety concerns हैं related to AI, it discussed all those concerns and moreover it called for a global action to tackle these potential risks of artificial intelligence. Bletchley Declaration and New Delhi Declaration दोनों ही अलग हैं because New Delhi Declaration जो है it was adopted by the Global Partnership on Artificial Intelligence, whereas Bletchley Declaration was adopted by the AI Safety Summit. New Delhi Declaration basically it focuses on the attempt to find a balance between innovation and risk associated with AI systems. बट ब्लेशर डेक्लेरेशन में बेसिकली जो एआई के रिलेटेड जितने भी रिस्क हैं कंसर्न्स हैं उनको मेजर फोकस दिया गया था. बट इन न्यू दिल्ली डेक्लेरेशन बेनिफिट्स ऑफ एआई एंड रिस्क बोथ वर डिस्कस. इन न्यू दिल्ली डेक्लेरेशन में इकोनॉमिक बेनिफिट्स ऑफ एआई दे वर ब्रिंग फोर्थ along with some issues related to fairness, privacy, and intellectual property rights related to the use of AI. Next question. Consider the following statements. Statement 1. Most Naegleria fowleri infections reported around the world have been linked to bathing and swimming in water bodies. Statement 2. The free-living amoeba, which is mostly found in the stagnant fresh waters, enters the human body through the nose. So we have to select whether the statement 2 provides the best and correct explanation for statement 1. So the answer would be A. That is, both statement 1 and 2 are correct and statement number 2 is the correct explanation for statement number 1. It was witnessed that in Alappuzha, Kerala, a 15-year-old boy died because he was under the treatment for primary amoebic meningoencephalitis. It is a rare brain infection which is caused by amoeba. Because the free-living amoeba, which is mostly found in the stagnant fresh water such as ponds, streams, and lakes, it enters the body through nose and it destroys the brain tissue and it causes the swelling of the brain. So therefore, most Naegleria fowleri infections they are reported around the world. They have been linked to the bathing and swimming in water bodies. What is Naegleria? It is the amoeba, which is a single cell organism, and only one of its species, which is known as Naegleria fowleri, it can infect humans. Other species cannot infect. So क्या होता है कि if someone takes a swim or dive into a Naegleria fowleri infested water, so it enters the body through nose. So it can also enter the body if someone cleans their nostril with the contaminated water. But ऐसे cases very rare होते हैं. It has to be noted that water vapor या फिर aerosol droplet से ये amoeba travel नहीं कर सकता. Naegleria fowleri it can also grow in pipes, hot water heaters and water system including treated public drinking water systems. So additionally it has to be noted that this brain-eating amoeba it can infect a person which has inhaled the infested dust. ये अमीबा ब्रेन के टिश्यूज को डैमेज करके प्राइमरी एमीबिक मेनिंजोएंसेफेलाइटिस की इन्फेक्शन कर देता है ब्रेन में. Next question. With reference to dark fiber, consider the following statements. Dark fiber sometimes refers to an already laid but unused optical fiber that is not connected to active electronics or equipments. Statement 2. Dark fibers are particularly non-functional, discarded optional fibers through which no information or light pulse can be transmitted. So we have to select whether the statement number 2 is the correct and best explanation for statement number 1. So the answer would be C. That is statement number 1 is correct but statement number 2 is incorrect. Statement number 1 is correct because the dark fibers or unlit fibers with respect to network connectivity they refer to an already laid out but unused or passive optical fibers. ऐसी optical fibers which are not connected to active electronics or equipments and it does not have other data flowing through it and it is available for use in fiber optic communication. So in the present context, ऐसे unused optical fibers अगर they are leased out to businesses and institutions तो इनको dark fiber कहा जाता है. Even after use भी ऐसे fibers को dark fiber कहा जा सकता है because they are independent of other network cables. Data in these dark fibers and other optical fibers it is transmitted simultaneously. Even though जो dark fibers में data पाया जाता है it is separated from the regular data but it is not non-functional or discarded. So dark fibers के जरिए जो डाटा ट्रांसमिट किया जाता है it is transmitted at different wavelengths and with the technique of dense wavelength division multiplexing we can also convert a single optical cable into a multiple optical cable. It helps in providing a secure network and unmatched internet performance. So what happens is ऐसे businesses जिनको high bandwidth चाहिए होती है and which want a secure connection they are physically isolated from other networks in order to safeguard their sensitive information. तो डार्क फाइबर का यूज कैसे बिजनेसेस या इंस्टीट्यूशंस करते हैं मेनली गवर्नमेंट इंस्टीट्यूशंस स्कूल्स एंड कॉलेजेस ई कॉमर्स प्लेटफॉर्म्स बैंक्स सर्विस बेस्ड कंपनीज प्रोडक्ट बेस्ड बिजनेसेस and dark fibers they also helps in minimizing service delays and improving customer relations. The term given in term track is co-location. Next question, consider the following statements. Statement 1. Blue is the color of biggest and hottest stars. White, yellow, and red are the colors of least massive and relatively cooler stars. Statement 2. Blue stars, yellow stars, and red stars alike are made up of around 75% hydrogen, 24% helium, and smaller amounts of other elements. So we have to select whether statement number 2 is the best and correct explanation for statement number 1. So the answer would be, just a second, B. That is, both statement 1 and 2 are correct, but statement number 2 is not the correct explanation for statement number 1. Recently, एक earliest known dead galaxy को support किया गया by Webb telescope. Statement number 2 is not the correct explanation for statement number 1 because जो blue stars होते हैं they are the hottest and most massive of all the stars in the galaxy. कोई भी star which has 3 or more times as much mass as the sun, it tends to look blue to our eyes. It is irrespective of other factors such as chemical composition. Blue stars, yellow stars, and red stars, they look alike and they are made up of 75% hydrogen, 24% helium, and other smaller amounts of elements. But blue stars में क्या होता है कि they are more massive. That is why they have generally higher intrinsic luminosity than other stars. Blue stars blue इसलिए हैं because they are very hot and they carry more energy than the red stars. Blue stars का जो high temperature होता है coupled with the high luminosity, it means that they are constantly blasting out huge amounts of energy into the space. So इतनी huge energy consume करने की वजह से blue stars they burn very quickly and they have very short life. तो इसी रीजन की वजह से ब्लू स्टार्स आर मोस्ट ऑफनली ऑब्जर्व नियर द स्टार फॉर्मिंग रीजन. जनरली ब्लू स्टार्स की गिनती बहुत कम होती है बट इन द नाइट स्काई अगर कोई भी हमें ब्लू स्टार्स दिख रहे हैं दे एग्जिस्ट बिकॉज दे आर हाईली न्यूमिनस. Some of the well-known blue stars are Regulus, which is the brightest star in the constellation Leo, Spica, the brightest star in Virgo, and Regal, which is the brightest in the Orion constellation. पर जो सबसे बड़ा एंड मैसिव ब्लू स्टार अभी तक ऑब्जर्व किया गया है it is supergiant R136A1 which contains at least 265 times as much matter as the sun. Additionally, whenever a blue star nears the end of hydrogen burning phase, it enters a relatively brief transitional phase as a higher luminosity blue giant. धीरे धीरे जैसे ये फेजेस की प्रोग्रेस होती जाती है वैसे ही जो कोर टेम्परेचर होता है ब्लू जाइंट का इट राइजेस एंड ये इतना इंक्रीज हो जाता है कि जहाँ पे हीलियम जो अदर हायर एलिमेंट्स हैं हैवियर एलिमेंट्स हैं जैसे कि कार्बन एंड ऑक्सीजन उनके साथ फ्यूज होना स्टार्ट ना हो जाए. एंड इसकी वजह से क्या होता है कि जो ब्लू जाइंट स्टार होते हैं वो और ज्यादा ल्यूमिनस एंड ब्राइटर दिखने लग जाते हैं एंड इस ल्यूमिनस और ब्राइटर फेज को कहा जाता है एक ब्लू सुपर जाइंट. So the terms for the self-study in this question are blue stellar stars and dead galaxies. So this is all for today. Thank you for discussion. Please like the video and subscribe to Abhyarti IES.